For ACUsports.com, I'm Grant Boone here in the Wally-Bullington practice facility as we continue our preview of the 2015 ACU football season, talking running backs. We've got first-year running backs coach Rodney Freeman, a familiar name and face to ACU fans, and we've got sophomore running back from Louisville, Deandre Brown. Deandre, let's start with you. Last year, a lot of people were talking about the return of Herschel Sims, and he had a fine season. Then you wound up running for almost 1,000 yards. How much did the two of you feed off one another? How much did the two of you make each other better, if at all?
Every day we come out here, we make each other better. I mean, I've learned so much from Herschel throughout the years. I mean, he's a veteran at the running back position, and I just sit back and watch him, and I think that helped me last year.
You ran for 962 yards, which was 96 yards a game for you. You played in 10 games, injured in a couple of them. But you ran for more than 100 yards per game in conference play, and as the season went on, you seemed to have legs that maybe some of those defenders didn't have. Was it a little bit of a blessing in disguise to have missed a game or two early, later in the year?
I think so. I think that's how I looked at it last year. I think instead of getting down that I wasn't playing, I kind of looked at it as a rest, and I kind of used it to my advantage later on in the year.
When you see your name listed as a first-team All-Southland Conference selection, what does that mean for you? What does it do for you?
I mean, it's amazing, but I just take it as everybody's going to be looking at me this year, and I take it as I need to take that in consideration every Saturday when I step on the field. I'm no longer an underdog or invisible. Everybody knows that I'm back there now, so I have to take a different approach every game.
Well, we knew who you were because of your pop. Your dad, Eric, was a running back here, and there were a couple of games you were getting closer and closer to his career high of rushing yards per game. What has your family told you about ACU that you found out as last year went on?
I mean, he really doesn't really talk about it a lot. Recently, about 3 weeks ago, he sent me a picture of his old school Letterman that he got in ACU. Yeah. And it's real old school, real vintage type. So that's pretty much the only thing he talks about. He really doesn't talk about his career that much.
Vintage, all the way back into the late 80s. All right, now I'm feeling old and decrepit. Let's talk to your coach, Rodney Freeman. Rodney, you are a terrific wide receiver on some of the very best offenses, forget about that ACU's ever had, that Division II football ever saw, teams that average 500 yards and 50 points per game. The common denominator in all of that is the guy you work for, Ken Collins. What does he do? He coached you when he was the offensive coordinator, but now he's your boss. What is that like? What's the transition been like to go from player for him and now coach for him?
It hasn't really changed much because he's always been my boss as being my offensive coordinator. So I still get kind of nervous every time I walk in that office because you never know what to expect. But it's been good. I've been very appreciative in bringing me back with the job offer back in February. So I'm just ready and excited to get to work with him on Saturdays.
I don't know that anyone in the league has a more potent 1-2 punch than Herschel Sims and this guy, Deandre Brown. In your first year, what have you seen from these guys?
They're two guys that work hard. They come out every day and they feed off each other. Herschel's a guy that's been in the game a long time. DeAndre's a young up-and-coming guy that brings a lot of spark to us, you know. And Herschel's been a leader in the classroom for us and on the field, showing these young guys how to do it right, you know. And DeAndre, he's a guy that helps out all the time, helps those young guys, putting them in the right position, helping them every time they make a mistake. So they both do a good job of helping these young guys and being a leader for our team here.
It really is an embarrassment of riches. Every running back who saw significant playing time at all last year got into the end zone. Randy Gober got in a couple of times, and certainly Adrian Duncan. I mean, you talk about pressed into duty. He's the third-string running back, and against Troy, trying to hold off an FBS opponent on the road, he scored the game-winning touchdown. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get the publicity that a Deandre Brown does, but what does Adrian Duncan mean to this team?
Adrian Duncan means a lot. He's a great player on special teams. He's on every single one of our special teams. And at the running back position, he's solid. He knows his assignments. He knows what he needs to do every play. And he's just a guy that's going to wait for his turn. And when he gets that turn, he's going to make the most of it. And it's a guy that we trust.
Well, it gets started next Thursday night. ACU on the road at Mountain West opponent Fresno State University. We'll have the broadcast for you on the ACU Sports Network 98.1 FM in Abilene. For Deandre Brown and for Rodney Freeman, I'm Grant Boone for ACUsports.com.